I know, guys, it's been a long time since I made one of my regular moto vlogs. I've been so busy with this bobber build project. If you haven't seen it, I got a whole series of videos converting my Harley Fat Boy into the ultimate bobber. As a matter of fact, I'm on my way to the local Harley dealership to get some more parts for today's video, and then I'm gonna film that. That's episode 8 coming out real soon. But this video is more about 1000cc sport bikes. And what inspired me about this video is I see all these videos out there about people making moto vlogs saying, why would anybody want a 1000cc sport bike? It's just way too much power, way more power than you need, way more power than you should have. And I 100% disagree, and here's why. I'm kind of curious how many of you guys are wanting to get a 1000cc bike eventually. Maybe you're riding a smaller cc bike and you're trying to get more experience or whatever reason you have. How many of you guys are destined one day to get a 1000cc bike? But what I'm going to talk to you guys about is my opinion about the pros and cons of having a 1000cc bike. Let's start first with the cons. And the thing is, all the cons are just about financial reasons. 1000cc bike is going to cost you more in a whole bunch of different ways. And to a lot of you, that's not a big deal. You know, it's the price we pay to have this machine. But some of you may not realize the different areas that you're going to spend more money on, and let's just bounce through those right now. First of all, to get the bike, if you're buying new, you're looking at about on average about $3,000 more just to get the bike. For a 600, you're looking at about $12,000, $13,000, and for these 1000cc bikes, you're looking at more around $15,000, $16,000, depending on the brand, of course. USA! So yeah, to get the bike, you're looking at more money. Now, to insure the bike, you're looking at more money too. Now, I did some research, and I unfortunately don't have the figures with me, but I contacted my insurance company, and to insure a 600 versus a 1000, I did an R6 compared to an R1. It actually wasn't that much money. It was almost like, who cares, you know? It was so little money that it really didn't matter. I really thought it was going to be a bigger gap, but apparently a lot of people crash on R6s just as much as they crash on R1s, probably because there's more inexperienced riders on R6s than on R1s, is my guess. The next up is gas mileage. Now, I compared a 600 to a 1000, and it's a huge difference. But I don't think a lot of us that buy sport bikes are really too concerned with fuel mileage unless we're strictly commuting back and forth to work. I mean, this bike I'm riding right here, this thing gets terrible gas mileage. But you don't buy these kind of bikes, worry about that at all. Alright, what else? Okay, yeah, you're going to look at spending more money on parts for your bike, mostly tires. Now, the tires aren't really much more expensive, but you're going to go through them faster, more often. That also applies to your chain and sprockets. You know, you're gonna, with all this power, you're going to eat through more chains and more sprockets. And I think that's about it for a 1000. Now, there might be some other things I'm forgetting about, but you're really just looking at price differences between having a 1000 and a smaller cc bike. Now, on the pro side, it's not a long list, but the things that are pro for having a bike like this are really important. The first thing that comes to mind is the sound. I know I'm only comparing 600cc bikes and smaller bore bikes to this bike, but there's a lot of great sounding 800s and 750s, triples, twins. But for the most part, a 1000 is always going to sound amazing. You're not going to get that kind of beastly sound from a 600, a 400, a 300. One of the main things that attracted me to the RS-V4 is the V4 sound is just so awesome to me. And it's awesome to a lot of other people too. Most of the magazines that do tests on these bikes say it's the best sounding bike. Now, I will admit, the Yamaha R1 with that cross-plane engine, I love the sound of that. I almost think with the right exhaust, it sounds better than the Aprilia. And there's a lot of other great sounding, you know, 1000cc machines. There's Triumphs and Ducatis. So yeah, one of the big pros is the sound of the bike. And we all know we love sound because the first thing we do when we get our bike, what do? Exhaust. Now the big controversy on a 1000 is all this power we have. It's way more power than we need. In a way it is. Most 1000s will do 160 to 180 miles an hour, and why would you ever need to go that fast unless you're doing a track day, which most people don't do. But my big thing about the Power 1000 is the power on demand. How much power it has from 0 to 100, 0 to 120, 0 to 60. The power's always there. It's just, you know, it's just a thrill that you're not going to get from a smaller CC bike. You know, on a 600, you're looking at having to ring out the RPMs to about 8,000 just to even feel any power out of that thing. This bike here, power all the time. The front end comes up almost, it's just the thrill of riding this bike here with all the power, and you know, you just, no matter where I am in the RPM range, the power kicks on strong and heavy, and to me, that is a huge fun factor. So really only two big pros for owning a 1000 is tons of power and then and the awesome sound. All these Harley guys are looking at me weird because I'm on a Aprilia at a Harley dealership. When you go to a dealership and they have everything you need. Alright guys, so that's it for today's message. If anybody ever tells you 1000's overkill, you know what, it's your bike, it's your life, ride whatever you want, you got your reasons. There's no good bikes, there's no bad bikes, it's just, all that matters is the bike that you want to ride. Anyways, I'm heading back home with my Harley parts. I'm going to dig into this bike. For my first time ever, I'm putting a cam in a Harley. I've never done that before. So I'm going to get home, dig into that. That's going to be episode 8 of my Bobber Build series. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.